Hello guys, my name is Katleho. Today we're going to be doing a presentation about careers in commerce, finance or business related. Myself, I was born and bred in Morocco in the Northwest Province. I did my schooling up to high school there. Then I went further on to study accounting. Currently, I'm a professional accountant. I'm working in pretty much finance and supply chain mainly. I'm with Pako Ramkhogane. She's just going to introduce herself and then we can start to do the actual presentation.
Hi guys, my name is Pako Ramkhogane, born and bred Komorokweng. I'm a BCom degree holder from Solplaik University. I'm currently working at the cocktail department as an accountant clerk, and I'm also a member of KYC. Over to you.
Thanks, PK. So guys, as you can see, myself and Paco, we both have experience in the finance industry. 1, 2, we've pretty much all like studied finance from high school, well, except for Paco, because it looks like she did maths and English, not necessarily have done accounting, which is also very interesting. It shows you how vast accounting and broad is. So you not necessarily would have not studied accounting and business for you to be into this field. So in the next slide, I'm just going to talk about commerce. So commerce is all about trade. It's all about the exchange of goods and services for money. So before we dive into trade, I just want to talk about the history of money, which I think most of you would have learned in your high schooling. But essentially, the history of money has so much influence on how we trade today, how commerce looks like today. And you'll see as you go through the presentation, the influence of technology into commerce and finance. It's very huge. So the history of money started obviously with barter system, where you could exchange 2 items, because at the time there was no money, there was no gold, there was nothing to exchange. People had, I could be having milk and then the next person has, for example, maize or beans. And if I need beans, I'll just go to that person and then we exchange. And then immediately after the barter system, there was cowrie shells, where people were using shells to trade. And then mint coins was also born over time, where people started to rather use coins to buy. We moved on to gold standards. And then really things started to change when the Bretton Woods system was introduced. So this is where the laws were made for people to be able to trade amongst different countries using different currencies. The laws were being made in place for you to be able to also honor the transactions. So if you give me a vehicle, I give you the money that you said the vehicle will cost, for example. We've also seen recently the booming of electronic payments. So this is mainly not having physical money or notes, but you can literally use your phone to transact and buy goods and services. You'll see in the next slide. The next big thing that's coming is the cryptocurrencies, which is also changing the way we trade. Today, people are talking about cryptocurrencies, they're talking about blockchains, which also there's a lot of influence of technology in that. And most companies are using that as a way of exchanging and buying and paying for goods and services. So as mentioned, you see that commerce over time has changed significantly. So I guess, can you imagine the pain of you having to find someone to exchange a product with? It was very difficult, but over time, as I mentioned earlier, we've seen how the money has transitioned. Today, we talk about e-commerce. So e-commerce allows you to buy anything that you want at the comfort of your own house by just using a phone or a telephone. So you can see the influence of technology and finance merging together. That can create exciting products. And this also presented an opportunity for us people in commerce to have particular interest in IT and technology, because that's the way of doing business today. So I'm just going to talk about now the different careers in commerce. So what can you do, or what can you become, or what can commerce help you to become in your career? So the big one, I think that most of us should by all means consider, even if you have a job. So people talk about side hustles. Entrepreneurship would be one of the most lucrative things you can do because it's your own business. So you dictate the terms of how you run your own business. And especially currently in South Africa, where there's high unemployment rates, people are always looking to find something to sell, which is very good because with more entrepreneurs, with more people starting their own businesses, it means they can employ more people. The next item that you can become if you in the commerce industry is to be an accountant. So accountants are mainly involved in making sure that the transactions, whether sales in the business or expenses of the business, are accurately recorded and reported to the business owners. And then we have auditors. So auditors are more like the police. So they are the guys that oversee and ensure that the business is not at risk. People are not stealing money in the business. So mainly there would be people coming from outside to come into your business, and they would look at your internal processes. Because remember, if you are a business and you're running a big organization, you can't see everything that happens into your business. So auditors comes and then they check every transaction to make sure that there's no risk of fraud, to make sure that also your businesses is following the laws, we paying the right taxes. We also have the tax practitioners. The tax practitioners also will be coming in. Mostly you can have them into the business. So an accountant can also be a tax practitioner. So their role is to ensure that the right amount of taxes are paid to government. Because remember, if you don't pay the taxes, you get in trouble with the government. The next one is the actuarial sciences and investment banking or stockbroking. Those two are actually related, if you think about it, because they deal mainly with investments. So it could be you personally, you have extra money that you want to save or you want to invest. You'd be looking up to an investment banker to say, here's the sum of money that I have, can you invest it for me? And they'd be telling that, okay, it's fine. We can take this amount of money for you, invest it for the next 12 months, and this is how much interest you're going to earn. Stockbrokers are much involved in the buying and selling of shares. So also you have additional money, you can approach a stockbroker and they can be able to advise you on which stocks to buy. Or you can literally do it on your own. You open a stockbroking account, you buy and sell shares on your own. We also have economists and market analysts. We've got logistics and supply chain. You can become a supply chain practitioner or you can be a logistician. These are the guys that are involved in the production. So the whole chain of where a product is manufactured, from production line, it gets into trucks and then it goes to be warehoused. From warehouse, it's put in the shelves. From the shelves, it ends up at the end consumer. So take for example, a cell phone. A cell phone is manufactured in Korea, for example, Samsung. It's moved all the way. So you'll see the chain of the phone being manufactured in Korea. It gets shipped by a plane into South Africa. In South Africa, they warehouse it. After warehouse, it gets sold to like your big businesses like Vodacom, MTN, Macros. And then you come as the end consumer, you say, I like this smartphone, I like the features, you buy it. So that whole chain involves logistics and supply chain. It's very interesting and there's endless opportunities in there. I'm saying this because I've been there, I've been in, or I'm literally still in that field. Your career in commerce also, you can end up being in marketing and sales. You can be a lecturer, you can be a teacher, you can be a business coach where you advise entrepreneurs who don't know much about business. You coach them on the things they must do and what to look out for and how to be the best entrepreneurship they can be. You can also do research for businesses. So imagine if I want to start a business somewhere in, let's say in Ghana. I don't know much about what happens there, but if I have a product that I know for sure is going to sell, for example, I made an example about a cell phone. For me to be able to go and invest and be able to set up a shop in Ghana, for example, I would need somebody who can do research. I would have to need the service of business writer for me to know how to do business and succeed in that country. So as you guys can see, there's endless opportunities to be, if you are in finance, very rewarding also if you grow over time, good paying jobs over time, if you have experience and you also be able to add value and influence the way business is being done. So from here, I'm going to give my colleague a chance to finish off the presentation. Thank you.
For you to qualify on those careers, obviously you have to study. And then where you can study those, you can get a postgrad learnership, postgrade 12 learnership. You can go to FET colleges such as Katu College, Vuselela, Orbit. You can go to University of Technologies. You can also go to universities like I went to Solplaiki University. Next slide. The general admission for you, it's mathematics, accounting, business studies, economics, and English. But then with me, I did the science stream. So what I only had mathematics and English for me to qualify. Next slide, please.
Yeah, that is very interesting, PK. I'm glad you're talking about that because often you find someone has done maths and science, but they are interested to be in the commerce field. So I'm glad that you're a perfect example of that.
Can we go to the next slide? And then I would add on to the requirements. For you to qualify for a diploma, you have to pass your matric with the admission to diploma. For you to qualify for a bachelor's degree, you have to pass your matric with admission to bachelor's degree. And then the qualifications, you have diplomas. We have diplomas in retails, national diplomas. You can do N4 to N6 at the college. Leader, okay, I'm back. You can do N4 to N6, let's say in business management. Then after that, you get a 18 months practical. Then you can apply for the national diploma at the institution that you studied at. We also have the BTech. We have BCom accounting, BCom economics, BCom entrepreneurship. They are different. We also have advanced diplomas in accounting, science, taxation. We have diplomas in accounting, sciences, internal auditing. We also have the postgraduate qualifications, which are honors and postgraduate diplomas. Next slide. After completing your qualifications, there are certain professional qualifications that you can go on with. The first one is the chartered accountant. For you to qualify, you have to complete a SAICA accredited qualification complete a learnership program, and then complete 2 final professional exams for you to qualify. Then we also have CIMA, that is a chartered management accountant. And then for you to qualify, you have to have a qualification in either accounting or finance. Then we have CFA and others. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. This brings us to the end of our video. We also just want to highlight the availability of bursaries if you want to go study in the accounting field. Big corporates give out bursaries. You can also get study loans, or you can also use NFSAS to study further. So it's very important that when you are in your matric, particularly grade 11 to matric, you should start to think about how you are going to finance your studies and leverage the benefits of bursaries, loans that are available. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining the presentation. Bye.